missed it.
So let's dive right into the bios. So directly to my right, we have Jess. Jess started her YouTube channel as a creative outlet after getting her bachelor's degree in drama. With a dash of humor, Jess shares her experiences as a queer person of color, exploring topics such as body image, diversity, and intersectionality. After Jess, we have Steph. Steph is a comedian whose channel focuses on internet scrutiny and her daily mishaps as a college student. She's often told her life is a sitcom waiting to happen, so if anybody has a producer, you should look her up. That was Steph's joke, not hers. It was very funny. And then after Steph, we have Cassidy. Cassidy's channel covers everything from vlogs to song parodies to cooking attempts and more. On top of being a YouTuber, Cassidy is also a TV reporter in Portland, Oregon. So he's like a professional entertainer person, which is pretty impressive. And then after Cassidy, we have Dida. Now, Dida is really, really cool. Dida is a 17-year-old who has come all the way to VidCon from Iceland. Her video skits, vlogs, and stories are chock full of imagination and have some of the most mind-blowing editing on all of YouTube. Seriously, the things that Dida does blow my mind. She's very, very talented. And then after Dida, we have Justin. Justin is one of the most intelligent people I personally subscribe to at VidCon. I'm a big fan of Justin. Her channel touches on feminism, trans issues, LGBT issues, as well as vlogs, comedy sketches, rants, nerdiness, Pokemon, and more. And then finally, we have Rude, aka Nice Kid 76. Rude describes himself as socially awkward but doing his best. His channel includes a weekly vlog that encourages his audience to see the world in unique and different ways. So the first question I have for the panelists is a lightning round. I just want us to sit down the line as fast as we can, and you can do it, and share how long we've been on YouTube and how many subscribers we have. So I'll start. I've been on YouTube since 2010, and I have 249,000 subscribers.
I've been on YouTube since 2013 and I have 600 subscribers. I've been on YouTube since 2015 and I have almost 100 subscribers. I've been making videos since 2010, but like regularly since 2013 and I have 9,300 subscribers. I've been on YouTube for around 6 years and I have 40,000 subscribers.
I've been on YouTube.
Oh, is your mic dead?
I've been on YouTube for about a year and a half, and I have 12,000 subscribers.
I've been on YouTube since 2010, regularly making videos since 2013, and I have 400 subscribers.
Beautiful. So now that we have that information, I would like us all in the room to conduct an experiment. So it's very clear that we're adolescent-based now, yet the scope of subscribers that we have is pretty wide. It
I'm a little cynical about it, honestly. I keep thinking, if and when I ever get millions of subscribers, by that time, PewDiePie's gonna have like 100 million subscribers or 1 billion subscribers. It's like the goal. It's just gonna keep getting pushed back. Nonetheless, I still got
Yeah, I really just like as the years go on, it's only going to expand. Like our numbers, like 8 years ago, were like, notable. I would watch like 5,000 subscribers and be like, oh wow, they're famous, like without a doubt. And now it's like, oh, you're nobody, And so it's just, the goal is going to continue to be unattainable.
Yeah, it's like you can keep trying to get more subscribers, but everyone else is going to keep getting more subscribers too. And there's people that will go up exponentially, and next month might have 1 million subscribers. But I would keep thinking the same thing as Jess. By the time I have 1 million, someone will have 1 million subscribers, and it's a little daunting, but at the same time, you just gotta keep trying to grow. Yeah, I definitely agree. It's changing, and it's changing really fast. Yeah, I look at people who have like 500,000 subscribers and they're just not a YouTuber. But when I was starting, that was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been doing YouTube for a year, so I don't have that, I've been around for 6 years and I've seen how it changed. But what it seems like to me is that there are a bunch of YouTubers who were here at the beginning and just doing this because they wanted to, or because there wasn't any money in it, and just grew with the platform, and that's kind of who the big people are now. And there's not kind of another way to that. There aren't small creators now who are coming up in a community together. It's just a much different experience.
I wouldn't say that the definition of famous changed on the platform. I think it's just being popular in high school. That definition has always been kind of the same, but the way that we look at it, we perceive it has changed. So in a way, as time continues to go on, even with the bigger YouTubers now, some of us have 10,000 subscribers, and we don't consider ourselves to be famous though. I think it's famous. If you had 10,000 people in this room right now, you consider yourself not famous. But because of the way the platform has grown so ridiculously fast, it's not, it's insane to me. But that's the only way I can think about that right now.
I totally agree, and I love that you brought up the point of perspective. A lot of us up here have 10,000 subscribers or more. We're still on the less than famous panel, but that's a ton of people. I can tell you for a fact that every single one of us was nervous and shaky to come up to this panel. We were quite intimidated because of the VidCon app said 411 people were going to be in the audience. Our subscription count is way higher than that, but as soon as you put our subscriber count into the room, it actually gives us the perception of how large our audience is. So my question is, a lot of you acknowledge the fact that YouTube is growing and what it means to be YouTube famous keeps climbing and escalating. How do you cope with that? How does a person who's just starting a channel even stand a chance if the platform is so massive? How do they not look at it and become immediately intimidated? And how do they stick out or garner any kind of attention when YouTube is so big? You guys can go down the line or you can just jump in. It's totally okay.
Yeah, I was going to say that we're going to keep going down the line.
I know. Totally described.
I think that, if you're focused on the numbers so much, it's going to be really nerve-wracking for you, and you're always going to be concerned about that. If you're obsessed with the numbers, it's going to be really detrimental to your YouTube channel, and you should really just do it because you like to do YouTube videos and not because, I don't know, numbers mean something in society. It's as we said, the goal is always going to continue to be unattainable. It's going to keep growing and growing. If you're concerned with reaching this goal and that goal gets higher, you're just going to be unhappy the entire time.
When I think going off of that with the same philosophy for what kind of content you're making, because a lot of people say, oh, well, you should just try, the number one video on my channel is life hacks, but if I was just doing life hacks every single day, maybe I would get more subscribers, maybe I would get more views, make a few more dollars, but I wouldn't be happy with it. And ultimately, if the goal was to start YouTube and do something that I'm enjoying and having creative
say, like, don't necessarily think that views means that's what you have to do. So, like, before coming to VidCon, I made a few videos about VidCon, and every time I did, my view count would go up by, like, double, which is, like, 200 extra views. But then, like, because of that, I'd keep making videos about VidCon because it was like, oh, that's doing really well, but it wasn't necessarily what I wanted my channel to become. So, like, do what you want to do and what you're proud about doing, because that's what you're going to continue to do and what you're going to be passionate about, and that's what's going to get you to grow an audience.
Absolutely. Now that we've talked about numbers so much, I'm interested. How concerned are you guys with numbers? To what degree do they drive you? To what degree do they discourage you? Do you work really hard and make the view count isn't as validating as you'd like?
Well, for me, I just see it with a giant, like, bowl of salt, like, not just a grain of salt. It's like, okay, this video got, like, 10 views somehow, and my average is usually around 300 these days. Maybe something about it didn't work. And I watched that video and I analyze it. I have a theater background, so I sit there and act like it's a piece of Shakespeare, which is not. I'm the opposite of Shakespeare. But, yeah, the numbers for what I'm doing, I know because of what my sort of niche is that I'm not going to be, I'm probably never going to hit 1 million subscribers. So that's not me being sad for myself or even cynical. That's just me recognizing that, okay, I have a very small but amazing and mighty demographic. And I want to do what I can to reach them because I love my community and that's what I'm all about on the channel.
Honestly, for numbers, like, it does feel good to see your subscribers grow. Like, it means that people want to hear what you have to say, and if you're doing something that's intended to be educational or informative, it means you're helping more people. As far as views on videos go, I mean, it's good to see them, but I don't try to make like editorial decisions, like what videos am I going to do next, and only make, you know, my 3 most popular videos over and over again. Just because it seems so random to me. One topic will do really twice as well as another topic, but they're both things that I feel equally passionate about, so I'm going to continue talking about both of them or new things entirely. So it is a driving factor. Like, I do want to reach more people. I want people to be able to see this, but at the same time, I want to do what I enjoy, and I'm not going to only pander to like one small section of it.
For me, like, I kind of try to, some of my videos I never plan. I post videos on Wednesdays and Sundays. Sometimes I plan them like 2 days before. Other ones I'll plan like months out if I know there's something like, I want to do a Christmas related video and you know that that's going to get more views, or something about like a TV show that's premiering and you want to do like Game of Thrones video or something. Or then the other one's like, let me just do whatever I'm feeling in that moment. But then these ones I know might get more views, but don't let that take over my whole channel, I guess.
So it sounds like a lot of you are happy when you are validated by high numbers, when you work really hard, which is totally natural, but at the same time you don't want to compromise your integrity or your art for views. But the next thing I want to talk about is fame, because I know a lot of small creators feel very differently about fame. Some small creators actively do not want to be famous. Some small creators make videos, and if they have to become famous, that'll be totally okay. And some are actively trying to be famous. So I'm wondering, for you guys who are on this panel, are you actively trying to be famous?
That's what my mom thinks I'm doing.
I typically don't tell my mom that I'm a YouTuber because I know she would like put that as a rule. So like, I just keep it to myself.
I wouldn't say that I'm trying to be famous, but I am trying to make a living as a part of other things that I'm doing. Like, I would like to be able to make enough money off of it that I can do it regularly. I don't expect to have 5 million subs and to have fan people chasing me around all the time. But I would like it to be something that's sustainable and that I can continue doing, because as long as it's something that you're putting more money and time and effort into than you're getting out, you're going to quit after a while. Like, it's just not sustainable. So not necessarily fame, but like a level of recognition that I can continue doing what I love is what I look for.
I totally agree with that, because like, when it's not so much that I want to be famous or anything like that, I'd rather not be famous because I like the current job that I have, but I don't know if they want me to do YouTube.
if people didn't know them as a brand, no one would walk in and buy their soda. And so if you're trying to get a job or be on YouTube, you can only succeed if people know who you are. It's not like I want people coming up to me in the grocery store in my pajamas like, hey, watched your video of you doing something embarrassing. But that's how you need people to know who you are to be valuable, I guess.
Sure, that's interesting. Let's dissect the words you use a little bit more. You use the words, in order to succeed on YouTube, you need to have people know who you are. In order to be valuable on YouTube, you need to have people know who you are. So I'm curious, what to you then, all of you, does it mean to be successful on YouTube and even more to be valuable on YouTube? What does that mean?
For me, because I try to make some stuff, the majority of my stuff, educational in some way and helpful to people. Success for me is like when people message me and say like, oh, this video has helped me out so much, or I didn't realize that this existed, and it feels so validating, or it feels so good. That's success for me. It's not necessarily like financially stable success, but it is very nice to feel like that's like the reason that I'm doing this. And so, like as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty successful at the moment because I've had people message me and say that I helped them, and that just means the world to me.
I would say for me, success is like the comments that I get on my videos. So like that whole conversation that happens is successful. It used to be a lot more successful, but I really just enjoy that interaction because I think a lot of viewers will realize that what a lot of us like is to see how you guys interact with our content, and there's not a lot of ways that YouTube allows that besides a thumbs up and a comment. So right now I think I'm doing decently successful through my comments. I could do better, but, you know.
I agree with Justin on that. Like, for me, when people message me saying like, oh, your video made my day, or I've had people saying like, your video subscribed me to come out, and like, my channel doesn't matter about LGBTQ plus stuff. So it's like, for me to inadvertently be doing that for somebody is like so cool. And it's like so nice that I can step people in that way without even realizing that I'm doing it. So yeah, whenever someone just like tells me that I affected them in a certain way, that's exciting.
I want to echo what Ruth said, that the cycle of putting some form of communication out there in the video and having it reciprocated by a response, whether it's through comments or email, is one part of success. I don't see it as there's one kind of success or one source of success for one individual creator at any given time, because it can also be that I'm really into editing and I really want to learn how to make this thing happen that I saw in another person's video, and I'm very stubborn and I refuse to look at instructions, so I will figure it out. And when I figure it out, I think that's a very successful video, and then I share the video, and it can get like 5 views, and it's be like, yeah, but I learned how to add a little floaty text message to my phone.
So most of you mentioned how important it was to interact with your audience. Are you ever worried that if your channel grows, you might get to a size or a place where you won't be able to keep up with the comments?
That's a good question.
Yes. Like, all the time. Like, I reply to almost everybody who tweets at me, and it's just like, I see them as my friends, not just as my viewers, and it's like, if I get too big, it's like, they're kind of getting lost in the bunch, and I'm like, I would feel bad if that relationship disappeared because I really cannot see their comment anymore.
Yeah, so I had made it a priority to reply to every comment because I was like, I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers that doesn't reply to their comments. And then, like, yeah, this YouTuber made response videos to mine, and now I have thousands of comments on my videos saying, like, kill yourself or whatever. And I don't really want to wade through those to reply to a few really nice comments. So honestly, I haven't checked my comments in a few weeks, aside from, like, I post a video and I look at the first few comments on it, because I know it's coming. And so, like, it's not like I've reached the size of the comments are impossible, but I've reached, like, at least enough that there's enough negativity coming that I just don't want to look at that. And I'm trying to figure out a way around that. I still really want to reply to comments, and I try to do right after I post a video, but it's tough.
So I would say that we've all sort of experienced what it is to be famous in a sense. So after we won to be on like Less Than Famous panel, Tyler actually tweeted at us, and our Twitter handles were going off the hook for like 24 took my lunch break at that point, so I wouldn't be like fired at the spot, like on the spot. And I honestly don't know if I'd be able to handle that, like having that much interaction with so many people so fast. I don't think I'd be able to have the connection with the audience that I actually want to have, or even be able to have the conversation that is the whole point of my channel. So it would be completely different.
So do you think it's like sacrifice then? Like, do you think you have to choose like a large audience or like personal audience interaction?
Yes.
How do you handle that? Like that's such a bummer. That's such a tough thing to have to choose.
I don't think you necessarily do. Like, I love when YouTubers, like Grace Helbig, for example, she'll post a video, then sometime in the next 24 hours, a lot of times, she'll be like, hey guys, I'm going to reply to your comments. And so then you go comment, and she is very honest about the fact that she can't respond to everybody. She has almost 3 million subscribers, but she's making an effort and she wants to connect, and she will sometimes like people's tweets or respond to people's tweets or retweet things, and still takes an effort, so it seems like, it feels like she's paying attention, even though you know she can't say anything back. So I think you can still have somewhat of a relationship.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about our shared insecurities for a minute, because in talking with all you guys, before this panel or Google Hangouts, you all mentioned that you had some similar worries and insecurities that you experienced when you learned you were part of this event. Can somebody share what some of those worries and insecurities were?
Well, I definitely felt like, because I have the most subscribers on here, so I felt a bit insecure about that. I felt like I wasn't less than famous enough.
On the other end of the spectrum. Not a subscriber, subscribe to me, by the way. And I felt like I didn't go through enough, like, to be on this panel, because like everyone else had so much more, and I thought they'd have some more experience. And then for the longest time, I think a lot of us went through this where we felt like we weren't qualified, and like we tricked VidCon to think that we were good enough. Like a lot of us re-looked at that email over and over and over again. Was like, is this actually for VidCon? So yeah, that's what I went through personally.
Yeah, I met the guy that sent us that email a couple nights ago, and I was like, you're a human! I'm actually on the panel, I think, and then they almost didn't let us in, and then, you know, insecurities came back in.
I threw my phone on the ground when I got the email. I was in your family, and I was happy for about 10 seconds.
And then, up until it became public knowledge, I was wrecked, because I was thinking all the different reasons I could not possibly have been chosen for this panel, because there's a sense of, like, us versus them, and there's this wall, this barrier, that there are certain qualifications to be belonging in any sense, even on a panel that's supposed to highlight people who don't have very high subscriber counts in the grand scheme of things. And I mean, it's a very human thing to feel, and that being said, I eventually came around, and after talking to these wonderful people, I actually have the complete opposite sense of this is actually where I belong, and this is okay, and I'm valid, and I won't throw my phone on the ground anymore.
For me, it was like, so, this is my first time auditioning for it, and I kind of felt like, why did I get picked? And like I said, everybody else who's been auditioning for like 2 to 3 years, you know, I just didn't feel like I was qualified enough for it, you know, like whenever the email, I thought it was spam, I thought somebody was kind of joking. And after all that settled in, I got really anxious because I'm like from a public speaking motive. But yeah, that was kind of me because I don't want to say something stupid. So I'm kind of people.
Yeah, I feel like one of the things we talked about before was like there's a title that comes with it, like YouTuber or creator. And like what point do you call yourself that? Like, is someone with like 10 subscribers a YouTuber? Because it feels weird. Like I still don't even feel like a YouTuber, you know? Like I feel like I'm not like at the level of like the YouTubers, you know? So that's a big insecurity that comes with it. Like, am I allowed to call
he was like, YouTube is only. I'm like, well, I'm like speaking, I'm clearly a YouTuber. So then he wouldn't let me in, finally get past him, they tell me to check in, and then that person's like, sorry, you're not on the list. So clearly, I'm not a YouTuber.
Yeah, that kind of happened to me too. So I feel like I'm the only one on the panel who got like an industry pass instead of a speaker pass. So I walked in and I'm like, yeah, I'm on the panel. He's like, I don't really do admin. I'm take my screenshot from the app and be like, I swear this is me. He's like,
So that's interesting. So, go on.
We all, I don't know if you're about to say this, but we all have speaker passes, and all the other YouTubers have featured creator passes. So we're not on the same level as all the other creators here, just like literally in the hierarchy.
I didn't know it was going to get that shaky on this panel, but that's good.
I say one thing that is great about coming to VidCon is that everyone's in the same place, whether you have 2 subscribers or 2 million subscribers, but at the same time, until you are, have that black featured creator or full access pass, you're always gonna be a fan. Like even being back in like the green room where there's other people coming to other panels, to be on the panels, you're like, oh my god, I can't go and talk to them, even though I'm sitting in the same place, having the same snacks. We are about to go on a panel, but I still can't be like, oh hey, like, I'm a YouTuber too, nice to meet you, like a famous person.
Usually the first question after how many subscribers you have.
Yeah.
It's like, why does that matter?
Yeah.
Honestly, it was like the story of that shit for me, but I would say like a bunch of people I've been watching for years. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm in the same room as them, I want to say hi, I want to like introduce myself, and then I was like, wait, no, I can't do that, because they're going to look at me and they'll be like, oh, well, she's a fan, and they're only ever going to see me as a fan unless I have, a black and yellow creator badge, or, I have a mutual friend with them.
Do you guys think that larger creators are responsible for reaching out to smaller creators and giving them opportunities and making them feel included in the YouTube community?
Like, yes. But also it sounds weird. It's like, please make all of us famous right now. But no, I do think if you have like influence and there are smaller creators that you like, you should try to boost them. You should try to help out people who are smaller than you. There's not much more to explain on that. I just think you should.
And it's not like they can't just be sitting at their computers being like, oh, there's someone with 5,000 subs, let me go like send them a message, let's collab. But yeah, like if you're in some place at VidCon, I guess, I would think they should be open to, don't just go, hey, how many subscribers do you have? Like we're all creators, we're all trying to do the same thing, just more people are looking at your face.
The crazy thing though is that YouTube itself makes it really hard to find small YouTubers. Like back in the day, small YouTubers and big YouTubers would equally be featured on the featured page, but now it's like John Oliver and like the Late Night Show and all these type of things being featured. So it's a lot harder for like a big YouTuber to even see us, let alone like myself who actively looks for small YouTubers to like collab with. So I just wish like the platform would lend itself in a way that I could just be like channels that have under 100 subs and just like go through that so I can like just include myself into that community instead of like going into this community that's been formed for like 2 or 3 years already.
Yeah, I honestly remember doing that when I started my channel. I was like trying to find other small channels, and then like you can just really Google like smaller YouTubers. There's no list of all the smaller YouTubers. There's no way to find this.
I'm interested in that and how you use the phrase YouTube community, because I feel like the phrase YouTube community is a piece of rhetoric that YouTube throws around constantly, but what does it really mean? I feel like when I hear the phrase YouTube community, it's because a scandal happened or a YouTuber is having like a YouTube breakdown and then they're famous and then they talk about it and they're like, the community's changing. And another famous YouTuber makes a video and they're like, you're right, the community's changing. Big YouTubers talking about this community. Do you guys And do you feel connected to it?
Great
So
question.
I think that the YouTube community is a lot like high school. Like there are many different cliques there, but like if one person who's like part of like say the basketball community says that like the community is changing, high school is really terrible, and me and my like weird nerd stays in the library community thinks it's not changing, then it's completely separate. But like the big YouTubers have their sense of the YouTube community, and maybe it's changing when like all 10 of them decide to do something differently. But it seems like there isn't all this drama that's going on with us, and I think the YouTube community is doing great, and it's just a platform to do better.
I just think there are like very specific niches. Like there's parts of YouTube that are just completely isolated from other parts of YouTube, and like we can have our own community, and they can have their own community. And just because we're on the same platform, that doesn't mean there's a lot of interaction between us. Like there's BookTube, and there's gaming YouTubers, and we're all over the place. So like there's not a YouTube community. There's quite a lot of YouTube communities.
I think even like every person's channel has your own little community, and some people's communities are really nice, and some people's communities are not so nice, or like split up the middle.
I know what you're talking about.
But like when you post, I don't know, I posted one video recently, and that made me feel there was a community in the comments because people were talking to each other and talking to me and just being like, thank you for talking about, I don't know, so you can even have just your little baby community.
So essentially, we talked a little bit about the big YouTube community. I want to talk about diversity for a little bit in the YouTube community.
What diversity?
Because when I look at this panel, I feel like you could say it's a pretty diverse panel. And even if it's more diverse, everything acknowledged being more diverse. It's a decently diverse panel. And if you go on YouTube, you could probably find just about any kind of creator out there who didn't have like a limitation on subscribers. My question is, can the same be said for famous YouTube? Do you think top tier YouTube is very diverse?
No. I think we have a lot of implicit biases when we are looking at what we want to watch, and the thumbnails that are more likely to get clicked on are young, white, cishet boys. And that's just a fact of the platform and our implicit biases. And I don't think we intend to do it. I don't think anyone is going, I should click on this person because they are white. But I think it happens. And I think that white people and cisgender people and straight people are more likely to get clicked on and to have that kind of interaction. And in that way, small YouTube can be a lot more diverse. There's much more different voices in small YouTube. And I would like to uplift those voices more, but and I know YouTube is working on that. YouTube's doing like initiatives to have more women get into YouTube and stuff. So there is change happening. But yeah, at the moment, small YouTube is much more diverse.
I love that word, initiative.
So well. I will say, I'm looking out to the audience and I'm staring at each and every one of your faces, and I'm seeing how diverse our audience is. And then we look at the panel here, and it's like, how come if I pull up a list on whatever social media hierarchy site you want to pull up, why is everyone not diverse? It doesn't make sense. At the same time, I'm trying to find people like me who are Filipino or even just generally Asian who are also queer, and I can't find them. Like, I can't find them. It's not like I got some magical power being the creator that I am to find them, and I know other people have asked me, well, you know, I am trying to find other people too. How do I do that? And it's as if I'm some sort of authority figure on how to find diverse YouTubers. And it's like, if you find out, please text me. No search trips, that's the thing. I'm part of two very sexualized groups. And guess what I found when I looked up Filipino lesbian? I'm not seeing that out there.
Do you think that Google is responsible for highlighting diverse creators?
I think to an extent, yeah. The thing is, like, so with YouTube and like things that go viral, things go viral because like we make them go viral and we share them, and it's like the audience really brings that video, that creator up, and so then YouTube will take what's popular
like be able to interact, like especially small creators, so that you can say I have X and X amount of subscribers because that's important to a lot of people, and I'm trying to make this kind of video so that like a lot of other YouTubers would meet up with you. I don't know how many of you guys use Reddit, but like on Reddit there's this I think Secret Santa thing that goes on where it's like this huge thing. I wish there was something like that on YouTube where this kind of like dropped people into groups and was like, alright, you're collabing, you're collabing, you're collabing, and you have a week to make an awesome video. If it sucks, well, it's just a week of your life, and next week you have another week. And if that was to happen, like creators would always be meeting new people. Your audience would be growing just by virtue of being put in front of other people's faces, and that would help the channel, like the platform grow. It would help people feel like there was a better sense of community, and it would also help people continue to stay creative. Yeah, that's where I was at.
Beautiful. Before we dive into Q&A, let's talk a little bit about the positives of being a small creator. So what are some of your guys' favorite things about being a small creator, and why are you proud to call yourselves small YouTubers?
I think that I can pretty much do whatever I want. I don't have like a set, these are the series I need to be doing, and I have to make this kind of content, and like if I deviate from that at all, my views are going to plummet. Like I recently was doing like travel stuff, and I never do travel stuff, I just happened to be traveling, and I wanted a video in so I could have like something to look back on. And I feel like if you have a ton of subscribers, you can't just like deviate from your plan like that. Like that's how people get this to you. But I really have fun just like getting to be creative and talking about whatever I want on my channel, which I feel like is something you can only do at a small level.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like small YouTube channels are like much more personal and people just be artists themselves because like, so I feel like big YouTubers, they kind of have this rhythm that goes with their video, and if they deviate from that at all, like I said, like they're moving on home, and it's just like, I don't know, I feel like bigger YouTubers, they're kind of put into a box more because like they have their niche. So like if I started making like, I don't know, like comedy sketch videos or like I don't even know what he does, like sorry, I'm not even listening to it. And like it just wouldn't go. Like you see him as this, and so if he starts being that, it's like, what's going on here? And I really like that I can talk to people more, like for example, I was out today, and I just saw like, people who watch my videos, and I don't even see them as like, oh, these are my friends that I don't know about, my friends that I'm meeting like in real life. It's so cool, you know? So I like that personal connection that comes along with having a small YouTube channel.
I will say I love the autonomy that I have as a small creator. I don't have, a brand to adhere to really. I'm just me. Like my whole channel is just me sharing my story, hoping that someone out there empathizes with me because I'm really big into empathy and stuff. And like I come from theater, and theater does have more diversity than Hollywood, but nonetheless, I was told right when I got to college that chances of you being a professional actor, I mean, do you want to try stage management?
Oh.
Yeah, rude, right? That's not that rude, like the bad rude. And yes, nailed it. And you know what? I fell into like a really bad depression after I graduated with honors from like a really amazing dramatic arts school, and I felt like I failed and I disappointed somebody, and I really disappointed myself. So deep. And then I made a YouTube channel, and for the longest time I didn't feel like I belonged, and then eventually
Yeah, how's that?
It's actually because of the performance. I don't know, but I know we were just talking about how we like so much as smaller creators that there is so much more diversity in content. So do you ever shy away from the more traditional big YouTuber stuff, like challenge videos or cat videos, or the two things that come to mind for me? Do you ever try and make content you see as well unique to the series? Yeah, or that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to also upload every week, and it's a lot easier to make challenges or Q&As. So yeah, I definitely sometimes do that, but I don't get it's not as fun, and well, yeah. No, I agree. For the very first time, I broke my arm, and I had to have arm surgery. I have a really, really bad scar, and so I'm on short-term disability for my day job, and so I'm poor. And I had to do a brand deal for the first time, and I had to do it with plenty of video that will get a lot of views, because the more views I got, the more I got paid, and I did. So I did that, and it just felt icky. Like, it was like stifling my creativity. I felt like I was feeding into everything that I wanted to complain about on YouTube. And I was just like, I don't like this. So no, yeah, I try to avoid the days and the challenges and to do more making things so that it's even
Have you showed that
what?
making that video?
What?
Making that video? You didn't like it?
I didn't know, let me know.
There was a very large world conversation about that. I think like sometimes it's harder to do those videos, at least for me, because I don't have anyone that like in my life in the world that wants to make challenge videos with me. And if I do a Q&A, like send me questions, I'll get like 5 questions. And so sometimes it's even harder. Like I don't do them just because I don't have all, or I can't buy like a million hairstyling products to test it out or something.
Next question, you. Yeah.
Hey guys, so my name is Austin, and like you guys, I also auditioned for Less Than Famous, and I'm really glad that I did because it actually landed me a job with the Filipino channel. So I auditioned for them. So I actually auditioned for them, and they saw my audition video for Less Than Famous, and so now I'm a correspondent for a TV show with them. And so my question goes to you, Cassidy. How do you balance the professional reporting stuff that you do in addition to like all the YouTube stuff that you do?
It's kind of weird because I work for a news station, and the point of a news station is to be, or at this point in the world, is to be biased and like serve the community. And so it's kind of awkward because when I started, I've never really sworn on my channel, but when I started working at the news station, my boss was like, no more swearing.
I definitely did.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
One of you guys should take the next question.
I like her glasses that right there.
Purple light glasses?
Hi, my name is Katie. I kind of have a statement slash question that I think would be helpful. The question that we talked about as a group, what do we think would help? And being small people, what can we do to actually make a difference, making our communities bigger, but also like still communities? And something that I've noticed in the past 3 weeks of me getting more involved is hashtags bring people together. I have been, over the past year, more introduced to people on my level, but also doing things passionate in what I care about through hashtags. Like, for example, Rowan does hashtag #FemTube on Twitter. #FemTube has brought me to see so many different people. And then, like the other day, we have Ricky Pointer, who is hashtag Deaf Talent, who has done so many hashtags with disability, and that brings so many people together. So I think as a group on the panel, if you have a thing that you like, creating a hashtag in that category, and then doing things on Twitter and making YouTube videos about it, and asking us to do responses to those hashtags would be huge. Because YouTube and hashtag proud to be does not need to be the category we all aspire to be. It can be all of us on a lower level, I think. And I think that would be really powerful.
How about Ryan back right there? Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool.
Hello. So yesterday we did the race and representation panel. Yesterday during the race and representation panel, they asked all of the creators what are some of their favorite small up-and-coming channels, which I've never seen it being done on a panel before. But it was really interesting to me how big the shout-outs actually were already. So I was wondering, what are some small up-and-coming channels you guys think are worthy of shout-outs? That's your definition. All of us. Just subscribe to all of us.
All that hustle.
Does anyone have someone?
Well, one of my best friends is talking about, and I've thought him out twice, and so I would really like to shout him out because he's funny. James Brown as well.
What up, girl?
Yeah. Yeah, so he's a very good friend of mine. Everybody right there, Zach Zakai, Brad Easy, all those people right there, love them very much. And yeah, those are my people.
Have any of you guys ever heard of the age creators? Yeah, so they're not like super small. They have 16,000 subscribers, but each is a flat channel, and each of them, each person has their own individual channel, which are smaller. And my favorite on that channel is Marie, and Marie has 5,000 subscribers. So I like all the new age creators. Oh, and Elijah! Elijah stand up! You're one of my favorites. You don't have to stand up. You were whatever you're comfortable with. I just saw you. And Elijah is not creative. He's one of my favorites. He's very, very good. Yeah. You look excited.
Thank you.
I really kind of just wanted to get us a Mardell t-shirt. Do you have one? Also, the events, I will love this. Thank you. You guys, can you talk about, we're an extremely small channel. We're at 1,300 subscribers. Been around for 8 months, and we're continuing doing a massive pivot into what people really want to see, because I think it's not us. Even though I think people are pretty entertained by us, they're not searching for us or the things that we're particularly interested in. I'm going really off track, forgive me. What I really want to know is collabs. Do you reach out to people, if we're at 1,300, does it make sense to you for us to reach out to people who have 2,000, or is that like, you're too small, I can't hang with that?
You say 2,000?
Yeah.
you don't just want them for class because you've been there for so long that you actually have a connection